Welcome to another chapter of World People. Tonight's guest is a refugee who escaped from, in that time, a very dangerous country. She, who had a very dangerous life trying to survive day by day, is here to tell us her story. Let's welcome Helga Budinsk.
Hi, thank you. Hi, Steve. Thank you. I'm very thankful to be here. It's an honor to me. First of all, I want to say it's a really sad and long story that really moves me, but I'm gonna do my best to try to tell you and let you know what I lived through.
No worries, Helga. Now tell us. Why did you have to escape from Germany? What happened there?
Well, Steve, it was in August 1961 when the Berlin Wall was built. So Berlin was separated into the Soviet part and the capitalist side. So I ended up in the Soviet side, but the rest of my family was on the other side, as you know, the capitalist one. So it was the hardest part to me. But so after a month of living in the Soviet part, without food and shelter and also by my own, I decided to go to the other side to go with my family, where the life was better and the city was rebuilt because after the World War II. And do you know why? Because because to live in the Soviet part was so hard, so terrible. Everyone was suffering the bad living conditions.
Oh, Helga, that must have been real difficult for you, being separated from your family and to end up in a country where you didn't understand a word or anything that was going on. Please keep telling us.
Of course it was, Steve. To live your old life there and start a new one is not that easy. And well, I took the plane, but I thought it was going to the other side of the city, but it wasn't. I didn't know where it was going, so I didn't understand what was going in that moment.
What a surprise for you and what a shock. First, you were separated from all your family. Then you were in the worst place ever, and when you wanted to cross, you ended up going who knows where. Were you scared of all that? What did you do?
If I was scared of that, well, of course I was, Steve. Seeing all these planes or flying the city day by day and not even knowing where they're going to, it's a big surprise for me. But so one day I talked to an old man who seems to be sympathetic. He was the only one who told me what was really going on Berlin. So I understood everything then. But let me tell you one thing, Steve. I thought in one moment, like I said before, we were going to the other side of the city, but when we were on the plane, the pilots told us, to the passengers, we must arrive to Bradford because of the conflict and the city being controlled.
Now, what is your experience on arriving to England? Did you feel welcomed by this new place, new language, new people?
Well, as you can see, Steve, my English is not perfect, and that was a difficult aspect that I had to change. I spoke German in all those moments, and then when I went to Bradford, I didn't understand a word, so I had to do everything by my own and start learning this new language and new people. But let me tell you something, Steve. I really felt welcomed by the British people. They helped me to start this new life, and they taught me this new language, the English. And I'll be always grateful with those who helped me.
How did you survive? With what money? How did you become the woman you are nowadays?
Well, Steve, the British government offered me a free apartment with everything included: gas, water, food, electricity. And after those 2 weeks, I had to find a job and get a place by my own. In Germany, I worked in a jewel manufactory, but here I only got a work in a bakery making bread, and that's how I survived in this new place to me.
Well, what a difficult life you've been through. All of this must have really changed you and made you the woman you are today. How is your life right now?
Actually, I'm happily married. I have 3 children: Steve, Jonathan, and Mary. I love them too much. And after all these things that happened to me, like leaving my family in Berlin, make me stronger, I think. And I started this life being a new woman. I think it was a very good experience to me. Well, except for the part of the suffering and letting go my family, because it was so hard, and it moves me very much nowadays. And I miss them, of course, but I can live with that.
Well, what a good story you've brought us today. We want to thank you for you sharing with us your experiences. The life you've been through is really harsh, and you telling us this must have been difficult for you, and we want to thank you for all of that.
Well, thank you for making this opportunity to me. It's a really honor to be here, and thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now we'll be telling the story of an immigrant from Australia in the next episode of World People.